was...
Everyone's salty that they didn't get to smoke the booth like I did.
No, I'm happy I didn't do it, because, I mean, your thing wasn't exactly good. It wasn't bad either, but...
It might be beneficial.
And it could be negative. We don't know yet. We don't know.
It's very true. I know, I am sad, though, that my armor technically got, like, a downgrade. From being the armor of invulnerability to whatever I got now. But hey, it's good because if someone hits me, it hits them back.
At least it's not cool armor of invulnerability.
Yeah, well, that was your fault.
I even said don't word it like that.
Who's the one who worded it as a cool armor of vulnerability?
Phil.
No. I don't know who that is.
My ex. Let's just go with my ex.
I'm gonna accumulate 5 wishes, and each wish to summon another set of cool armor vulnerability in a different color.
Fair.
Armor vulnerability.
God damn it. The cool armor of invulnerability. We do not need one for each of the resistances, please, for the love of God.
Yes.
DM, I'm gonna make one for each type.
I just got home. I'm gonna get out of the call and I'll come back in when I'm on my computer.
We'll see you in a minute. Okay.
I even said...
I just saw your message, Cheston.
Oh, you just saw the nat one thing?
Uh-huh.
Did you
Which
see the
side
message
are
I
you
sent you
hoping?
earlier today?
Yes.
Okay.
What's up, Cameron?
I'm asking Cheston, which side is he hoping that one's first?
I'm hoping the demon die nat ones, I'm gonna be honest. Just for the comedy of he wants to use it for assassination.
Demon? What?
What demon? Because we're dealing with orcs.
No, I'm saying I hope Hunter's demon die nat ones.
Oh,
Oh.
his new dice. I mean, I did make it pretty clear in the... apparently, Grumpy thinks you need to turn something into a glove. I don't
What
know
exactly?
what. I just know Grumpy says that apparently, and then turn it into a glove, Cheston. I don't... I was talking about updating my bitrate because I had to stop the stream for a minute and re-update the stream, so, because my bitrate was too high. I have no idea.
Message me when I'm turning into a glove, I'll do it.
And if you dare say Temidar, you're wrong.
If he says that, you won't
He'll
know. He's gonna PM
disintegrate
me.
himself.
But, yeah, no. So it looks like I'll be joining you guys as a good healer. I'll be playing a very old Leonin.
Yeah, so now we'll have 2 goods, a neutral, and 2 people that are neutral but tied to something evil.
Hopefully.
I'm neutral good, which is the thing.
I will see what happens. I haven't
Doesn't
done my
change that
gear
you're
or
neutral
anything
tied to
like
an
that, so-
unknown evil creature.
Mine isn't even well, I don't know that he's technically evil. I know
Wolf
it's
has
painful.
implied time and time again that it is evil.
Implied. It could be misunderstood.
I think it's evil. I believe it.
All I know is it causes me a lot of pain.
That's no, that's accurate.
Oh, it's right, 2 neutrals, because our wizard as well.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, the wizard that says that guards eat babies.
Oh no, wait. We're gonna have a drunk and a stoner in the party. Oh god.
Yeah, worst thing is I'm
That's the
gonna
best
probably
combination.
with the build I'm going with, I
think
will
that's
be
fine.
your major utility buffer and healer. That's basically the entire build I'm kind of creating.
Okay, because I'm damage cleric. So
Oh no, I'm full utility, mainly focused healer.
I'm a damage cleric tied to a goddess of healings.
No, my only damage I think I'll get is bardic spells for what I'm going for. And level
Yes.
4 was accurate, right?
When I can't heal and I have a 30 in wisdom, I gotta make the most of it.
That's fair.
Cheston's entire thing is I will make sure less people get hurt by hurting those doing the hurting.
Look, man, no, my new thing, because I don't have empathy either, is if I kill the enemy fast enough, they can't hurt the innocent.
Oh, but Chaston, I do have to send you this because I think you'll really appreciate my stats I rolled this morning. I mean, you can pretty much see my stats on my character sheet, but I feel like it doesn't really enunciate the level of good rolls I got this morning.
Oh, that's
I
good.
thought they were.
Okay.
I thought they were. You were about to say that they were the level of Falbin. I was gonna be like,
No,
oh,
my
God.
lowest roll was a 12.
If
my-
you would have gotten Falbin rolls, I would have felt apologetic. Now, it's just no.
Damn,
My
I
bad.
was very intrigued that your highest stat you put is con. see
Yes,
what-
because I'm built to take a lot of damage in my final form. I don't have all my classes set up yet, so
No, I figured you have one level 1 bar.
I have one more class I need to add into this build, and then I need to level up a good bit with 2 of the classes.
I'm guessing that last class is Barbarian.
Nope, not in the slightest. No, to kind of give you an understanding, my build is based on wisdom, charisma, and constitution.
Okay.
So, I went strength just for the heavy armor, but I haven't picked up any gear yet, so, yep. But
Well,
we'll
like I
get more
told
of that
Chest,
later.
and I'll repeat it now, that is one druid that is never, or wait, one bard that will never end up losing a concentration saving throw.
That's true. But to be fair, the bard I'm going, I would basically be in the same situation. Wolf runs milestone, not XP,
Yes.
which
yes,
makes
does.
it more difficult. Why did Wolf?
Well, yeah, because we only level once every like 4 or 5 sessions.
Oh, Wolf missed.
So you have to really make the most of your level ups.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Wolf just tried to call me. I'm like, what the fuck? Why'd my phone start ringing? Oh man.
Yeah.
Fair.
You gonna answer?
No? Oh no, it's a Discord. It was a Discord call. No, I'm good. It would kick me out of this call, so.
I mean, you're gonna call Wolf for a few minutes. That's fine.
No, I'm good. Nothing. He's looking over my backstory for my character. So. Also, welcome back, Coke.
And Robert.
Oh, Robert! You never left the call. You were just on
Druid
mute.
from the Nords, Lucius.
You've been gone for years, Robert. Years.
You know, that's not wrong.
The king returns.
I mean, he's been high that long.
Toilet explosion definitely felt like I'd been gone for years.
You know, it's funny. I've had 4 cups of coffee. I don't seem to get that issue. But the chicken nachos from yesterday definitely caused it.
Well, I'm drinking a dark roast right now, too.
Oh, see, I do light roast. Oh, man. I don't need to drink coffee to take a shit yet. I don't want to be at that age yet. Oh, man.
I just like the dark taste.
That's fair. Also, be prepared. So there's a current 50-50 going on right now. Since we've been having such heat, or so much heat going on for so long in Portland. They're expecting a really heavy winter this winter, so we're getting a couple feet of snow again, probably like we did back in 2008. So this will mean one of 2 things. Either one, we'll have more D&D sessions because I won't be able to go do anything. Or 2, I may not have power, and thus may not be
If
able
it's
to run
option 1,
session.
would you mind helping me hammer out some details for my world? I'd like a sounding board. And since
Sure.
my writing is crap, usually.
Mm, there's no usually.
I'm going to make you suffer for it.
Grumpy, by the way, has put his vote in for Lucius for king.
Yeah.
I still vote Sigrun for Quinn.
I'm sorry, Hawken. We have to go with the one who has more age and experience. Lucius, you're becoming king. Have fun.
I'm going to kill all of you.
I didn't even vote. I made a joke about Sigrun.
Cameron, you literally...
I think Lucius would want to be king of the entire Nordlands.
Yes.
I don't think anybody wants to be royalty in this party. I think all of us have seen what fucking happens to them.
I have out of character lived the experience, and I don't plan to repeat it. But you know.
You know, I became king once. I didn't even have to do anything. It's pretty great.
I feel like Sigrun could stumble into running a kingdom, but I don't think she'd want to because she'd be too busy wanting to go out there and like do mercenary shit.
See, that's when she
Maya,
just built an orc
we're
structure.
gonna get you
strong
one
as
level in
bees.
Bard to get you expertise in persuasion.
I I don't think I should
Sigrun
multi-class
Kingdom would be one-
again, but
He'd be more inclined to take over like House Windsor, but apparently he's not qualified for that.
God.
That's fair. He's not wrong. I bet. Oh, all right.
And that's a great note to start on.
Grumpy's betting Hawken dies first. Ah, man, take that as you will, Cook. I'm
gonna bet Grumpy dies from my hand in real life.
I mean, you guys are about the same height, and it's only a double weight class difference. All right. So last time we left off, the party had discovered kind of almost a ploy, it seems, amongst the orc princes, or at least one of the party members has. The others, unfortunately, have continued to enjoy themselves in the tavern as they have been at this inn. While poor old Hawken here, who has now been handed a bottle of mysterious wine with itself resealed, standing outside, prepping to go back in to drop off the bottle of wine. The party last time, however, spent the majority of the session split, with a majority of them relaxing, enjoying themselves at a fancy inn as Lucius told stories and heard stories about other blood hunters of the lycanthropy group known as the Bear the Bear Clan. And poor Hawken had to do reconnaissance, some planning, and some research all alone. After a near debacle of another Nord getting chased out of the Orcish lands, with the thought that was Prince Hawken himself, we come back to Hawken. You, if I remember correctly, had left off with just got given that bottle of wine by that strange half-orc Goliath.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're left standing outside wondering if you should go in and do something or if you should remain where you were. So
I'm gonna go in.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me what I wanted to do.
I was good. Yes. So we come back to the party, having still been split. We'll continue momentarily with Hawken to see what he chooses to do. Hawken, it's still midday. The sun is shining. It's still somewhat kind of cool out, however. People are giggling, laughing, commoners walking about. The half-orc, half-Goliath seems to have walked back into the book cave and continued to finish off the bottle of liquor that he took from you. Now you stand here with an identical bottle in your hands in the middle of the court. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna walk through the front door. I want to go talk to that priest.
Okay. As you walk up, the guards standing at the gate, or at the entrance, kind of block with their halberds and wait for you to state who you are and the reason for your visit.
My name is Hawken, and I'm here to talk to the priest that I spoke to earlier. Of course, in the orc that I learned earlier.
The guard kind of very roughly nods and goes to open the door. One of the guard captains comes out and gives you the full spiel about you will be watched. If you make any hostile movements, you will be immediately put in shackles. And that due to recent break-ins, you will be under complete surveillance at all times by orc guards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you agree to the terms, the doors open to the central chapel room. Two guards, one to either side, fully armed with what looks to be sparkling halberds. You can definitely tell they're magical of some sort. As you walk in, the orc priest comes back out once again, glasses on, looking about, a little confused, and waits to see what you have to say.
I would like to talk in private. If you don't mind. Of course, you've been watching me, I know that for sure. I'll let you know I will not do anything to you, if that's what your worry is.
He kind of leans forward onto the lectern and kind of props himself up on his elbows and messes with his glasses a little bit as he straightens them out and looks you dead in the eyes, now down at your level, and goes, "I'm a tad confused, good friend," as he speaks in common. "I did not spy on you in any way. I don't know any spells to be able to spy. My capabilities are focused both on the understanding of truth and the healing capabilities that I can have, as given to me by those that worship." He smiles and goes, "And as far as your request to talk in private, no place is more private than my own chapel. Though my brothers are in the next room, should you cause a fuss, they are more than happy to intervene if the need arises."
Well, I need to let you know, covertly of course, that I'm sure you know from what you, I guess, haven't seen me do, is I have this bottle here
He looks at
that
the
I was
bottle.
given to replace downstairs, as I'm sure you don't know.
He shrugs his shoulders.
There has been a list given to me and to the rest of my party through an ally of mine who thinks that the person we received it from as well as an ally, which I'm pretty sure might not be. There is a list to kill the three princes. You being one of them, I'm sure.
He nods. He waits.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
And as you probably know, because you seem like a smart one, you probably know who I am and what I'm here for. At the very least. And I have a feeling that since you didn't call any attention to it, you're okay with it happening. I think. At least. And I thought this is a good way to get things done and maybe establish a friendship, maybe for the future.
He looks at you and smiles and goes, "You think that I know of anything of a grocery list? The bottle of wine that you hold that's obviously poisoned.
Yeah.
And the fact that you expect me to have been scrying on you. Well, my good friend, I don't have the scrying spell, I'm sorry to tell you. My brother does. My brother, Prince Orc. But I don't, so I'm not exactly sure what you expected me to know. But it's good to know that you had plans to kill me and my brothers. You know what?" As he claps his hands, and out come a bunch of iron golems being led by orc mechanists. And he goes, "Now we can do this the peaceful way." As you look about, you count around 12 iron golems in total. "Or we can do this well, I'll be just straight with you. I'd rather just kill you if you resist, so please do resist. It makes this so much easier."
I do have a question for you before anything goes further. Are you familiar with Kedliz? This is a question.
He straightens his glasses and goes, "You're gonna spend some time relaxing in shackles for a little bit while we get to the bottom of this. How about good Lord Hawken?" As he smiles.
Yeah. I'd rather not spend my time in shackles, as you probably very well know. I'm not here for you. I'm here for your brother. I don't want anything else to do with this place.
The iron golems begin to move in.
Welp. Yes, I gotta go.
He smiles and puts up, suddenly casts an anti-magic barrier all around the room and goes, "No, I think you're gonna have a nice little stay." as the iron golems begin to surround you. Do you resist?
So how big are they?
Big?
Okay.
Well, no, I'm saying you're asking me how large.
Sorry,
They are.
yeah.
Let me pull up something. So the average iron golem is large, so that means anywhere above 15 feet, I believe, or between 8 feet and 10 feet. I think is what's considered large.
I know what's strange is that last time the orc in my ring told me that the priest was scrying on me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is strange. So either this one's lying, or I was being screwed over by the guy in my mind. While this is going on, I'm gonna... Well, actually, no, I guess since the anti-magic field's up, it can't talk to me?
Correct. Cool. You are in a hard place here.
Okay, so... I assume... it's gonna be a little bit more difficult if I run. You know what? Let's go with it. Let's roll.
You
I'll let them
want to
take
fight?
me. No, let them take me.
Okay. As they put you in shackles, you immediately recognize as the anti-magic ward drops off, the shackles lock in. The dimension shackles completely holding you in place. You feel your magic begin to be sucked away, almost as if your mana is being drained from your body. And as you're taken below to the dungeons themselves, they continue to keep you with your arms shackled behind you. They take off your gear, leaving you your armor, but taking all of your weapons as they search through, including your bags of coin, bags of holding, and everything else, and set it aside. They leave you with your holy symbol, of course. As you are locked up, we will come back to you momentarily. Temidar, Sigrun, Pebble, and Lucius.
Doing potion research in a tavern is a bad idea.
As you lot have been enjoying yourselves, food being brought out, drink being brought out, about 3 hours goes by between the time you saw Hawken and now. In comes a couple of orcs in what looks to be very clearly uniformed, in a very simple military design. One of them comes up and, speaking in very broken common, goes, "Are you the parties of the king's candidates of Hawken of the House of Windsor?"
I, before say anything to them, can I, as quiet as I can, because I'm sure it's not the most quiet, but in Bear, turn to the guys that are with us and be like, "You guys got our back if anything goes south here?"
As you begin to grunt, one of the bears grunts back and says, "No, the cleric prince is too dangerous to turn against."
And turn to the group sitting at the table at common and be like, "I have a feeling we shouldn't fight."
What would we be fighting about?
We don't know what he is. He went off on his own. He caused trouble. That's his
You
problem.
lot have, as part of the recognized organization of the Lord of Hawken, Windsor, of the King's candidacy, have all been issued an arrest warrant issued by Prince Orc himself, and you lot are to come with us immediately, whether it be by means of arms and force, or whether it be peacefully. Should it be peacefully, you will not be stripped of all of your items and your values as citizens, and will be given your due trial as is expected of those who serve.
I mean, I'll come. 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that we don't have a reason to fight you, and I'd
Yeah,
rather
no.
not go through
I'd
items
rather
being
not start a
taken.
fight that we don't need to, especially in a place like this.
The
This is a
guard
nice
captain
one.
nods and goes, "If you will then follow us, and please keep your weapons at your sides."
One moment.
Can I take like my food with me though? Like it's almost done, and I'd hate to waste it. I can eat while we walk. I can eat while we
Templar
walk.
holds up a
It's
finger
no
while
problem.
she's talking so that he can pack up his potion setup and puts it in its little bag, which it shrinks down. He just puts it in his inner pocket, like, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
shake hands with all the bear brethren and then turn towards the guards.
Okay. The guard captain looks at you lot and nods and says, "Thank you. We appreciate your understanding and willingness to listen to us. Your leader has unfortunately been found for guilty for attempted assassination against royalty. You will not be charged on these same charges unless he chooses to involve you through duel and that you accept. Otherwise, you will be welcome to go free at the nearest convenience to the trials."
That's fine.
And he
I
kind
just have a simple question, if I may ask. Wherever we are set, would it be fine if I continued my research on the potion that I was working?
We ask that no magical items be used in front of royalty until your lot are stuck in or put in your place of stay for the time being. You will be put under house arrest in the royal palace itself.
That works out perfectly fine.
How do you arrest the house?
It means that you won't be able to go outside, Sigrun.
We can explain later.
The guard captain kind
Okay.
of turns, and the orc guards kind of start to kind of envelop the room, waiting for you lot to follow out.
Yep.
Temidor will take
Sigrun's
Well,
bringing
walk it
her
out,
plate
yeah.
with her.
Okay.
She's gonna eat while she walks.
I'm just carrying a turkey leg.
As you lot are kind of walked into the road, being surrounded by orc guards, you realize there's around, you guess, 30 maybe iron golems in the streets that were fully prepared. Look like as they each have their own orc mechanicalist stationed with them. The orc captain turns as he's walking you guys up the road towards the royal palace and says, "Precautionary, adventurers can be fickle bunches. Never know if you're going to get kind, evil, or just the annoyed type." As he continues to walk up.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make these these potions that are useless into something useful.
As you continue mumbling this, Temidar, and the rest of the party as you're brought up, you get brought to the palace itself, the castle itself, and put in one of the towers. That is luxuriously set up with tables, there's food, there's a full larder filled with more food, cushioned chairs, a single bed set up. This wasn't exactly a place designed for a lot of people to sleep in, but it does have some nice commodities. About as each of you are kind of ushered into this stone tower, two guards are placed outside. Little bars are in the window, and the guard captain informs you that you can make requests to those on duty, and they will see what they can do, and that you will be brought in front of the three princes within the hour.
The pebble would like weights to lift.
One of the orcs points to the bed.
That works.
Sigrun. Yes, Sigrun. I'll help you with workout, my friend. Turkey leg?
Is there a desk set up somewhere in the room?
No, there's just a table in the center, a small little larder cabinet, and an armoire.
To the table I go. I just set up my potion stuff again to get to work for an hour, I guess. Trying to get these potions of resurrection down to potions of basically go down multiple steps to spare the dying.
Okay. As you lot begin to relax, you begin hearing screaming from someone down below. And now, as I say that, we jump back over to Hawken for a moment.
Man, I wonder who could be screaming.
So Hawken, as you are sitting in the prison cell itself, the holding cell, a guard just sitting there, continues playing with this strange machine that you haven't seen before. It seems to be a strange black box with a blackened disc and a cone shape at the end of it. And every time he seems to wind it, it seems to scream out with this strange human scream. And it seems that the orc is kind of like bobbing his head to almost an invisible tune, or an unheard tune. Yes, for your answer, Lucius. Uh, but after a few minutes of this orc guard, who doesn't seem to understand any common, continuing to play with the thing, he finally just sets it aside, and the screaming stops being heard. The orc draws then in the dirt with a little stick into your cell, a little what looks to be some sort of pound symbol, or to the kids today, a hashtag symbol. And begins just drawing X's and O's in it as he seems to be playing with it.
I guess an orcish will be like, "What you doing, bud?"
He looks over at you as he kind of seems to brighten up and goes, "Ah, you like human singing?"
That was human singing?
Yes, I make many humans sing in my basement.
Ah, it's not so okay. The torture kind of singing, not like the good kind of singing. Understood.
He goes, "What? Nords don't make that singing when they happy?"
No, not at all. That's not the happy kind of singing.
Oh. As he kind of seems to stare off at a wall for a moment with some contemplating some things. Oh, I've learned much today. As he turns back to you and nods his head.
Yeah, I'm glad to help.
And he kind of just continues drawing in the ground as he contemplates something. And then you hear him whisper in Orcish, I might have to kill them now."
Who do you have to kill, my friend?
He looks up and goes, "You not hear nothing."
Of course I don't, but if I did, what's up, bud? Maybe I can assist you.
The princes are much more dangerous. You won't live to see the hour.
I mean, I kind of have to. I mean, if I'm going to become king, I need to take out the oldest.
King of what? As he kind of turns and looks at you.
The Nords. Just king of the Nords. Nothing grandeur like what they are, of course. But I'm also intent on taking over the world at some point or another.
He goes, or very, very orcish, as he nods. And he continues to draw on the dirt for a few minutes.
What you drawing, my friend?
Nothing, just a simple shapes game you play when bored at work.
What's the game called? Can you teach me how to play? I'm gonna probably be here for a while.
As you mentioned that, you hear the doors begin to open as more orc guards seem to come in, and Prince Torgon comes walking down against the priest from earlier.
Hey, how's it going, my man?
He just...
It's been like a hot minute.
Well, your friends have been captured.
Likely, I expected that to happen.
2 of them have been put to the death. The big boorish one decided to fight back. She screamed a lot, killed 3 of our golems before finally going down to a poisoned arrow.
Well, death in battle's kind of the thing she was all about, so I hope she died a good death.
And there was also another one that called himself the Real Hawken. Not sure what, the catfolk person.
Oh. Kind of sucks that he died. I mean, it's starting to like the guy, but... Oh well. I mean, did he die good? Did he die well?
Your 2 of your compatriots are dead, and you have this little care for them. Interesting.
I mean, I don't really think you killed him, to be honest with you.
He kind of looks at you for a minute, adjusts his glasses, and kind of takes a second and goes, "So you doubt my ability to kill them, but you believe that I am some sort of master assassin who set you up to kill one of my brothers and gave you wine to poison them."
I don't think you gave me the wine. I think somebody else did. Because that was the same person who wanted you dead. I think you're perfectly capable of killing my party members. I just don't think you have. I feel like that's playing your cards too soon. I feel like you're a smart guy. Smarter than me, for sure.
He takes a minute, looks at you, and goes, "And what do you think I've done?"
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what you've done. I don't think you've killed them, but I don't know exactly how you're treating them. You could be treating them, honestly, horribly, or you could be treating them well, as to maybe bring them over to your side. I have no clue. I don't know the comings and goings and the doings of, honestly, the orc people. I've got no clue.
You know, it'd be much easier if I just beheaded you right now.
But if you wanted to, you would have done it already. So, do you need something from me? Do you need something done?
He looks at you and says, "Yes. Actually, a compatriot of mine is a very valued ally and resource to me. Simple. I need you to kill the one known as Lucius in your party. He is a threat to a good friend of mine." He holds out his hand, and you hear the dimensional shackles click off as an anti-magic shell or wall seems to expand around your cell. And he goes, "Simply put, take the hand that will give you your freedom, or take your chances at in a trial."
I'll take my chances in the trial. I don't want to kill you, sir, because for some reason my god wants something to do with you. But I can't stop my own goals in the meantime.
He smiles and goes, "Perfectly understandable when within reason. You'll wait here, and once we're ready to see you, we'll have you brought up within the hour. You may stay here," as he clicks his fingers and you see little runes along the walls seem to light up. "And it was before you think that because you've been undimension shackled that you'll be free. Unfortunately, anti-magic is one of my few specialties in this world. And those runes are indestructible unless you have something that's made of Aventium itself. I'm not concerned about. So you may sit here, enjoy yourself." And as he snaps, the guard captain kind of sits down, replacing the orc that was talking to you, and he goes, "You'll also find my commander a little more of the talkative sort, as you seem to want to spend your time discussing the cultures of orcs."
Oh yeah, let's do it.
And Torgin turns, and as he does, his entire guard detail turns with him and starts following him out. A few minutes go by, and we jump back over to the other portion of the party. The door opens, and in walks Torgin as he sits down. No guards accompanying him as he leaves them outside. He comes and sits at the table, looking at Tamadar's potions and kind of eyeing them up, looking over at the Pebble and Sigrun, practicing different lifts with the very heavy wood bed frame. As he looks about to each of you, he smiles and goes, "You know, your friend, Hawken, he's a unique one. I'm curious what brings you lot to want to make him king. What do you consider is so valued about this person that you think he'd make a good king for the Nords?"
In reality, he's at least got a decent... He's got a decent morality on him, and I can say that much. But
I'll be honest, I just met all of these people except for Sigrun.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on Nord politics, to be honest, or any, but he says he qualifies to be king. And so, since he's a party member, we all do his quests, whatever those entail. Honest, I don't know much about the whole process to become king. It sounds a bit convoluted, honestly.
Oh, you don't know about the final portion of the King's Candidacy quest?
not
No.
at all.
I told you I just got here.
He looks at each of you and smiles for a second and says, "Simple. As part of it, he'll have to, as you've probably been told," as he looks about to each of you and goes, The king candidacy must get approval from the majority of the houses. They don't have to have every single one, but majority is required. The house's power defines whether it's the value of its vote. For the example, that the House of Windsor is one of the most valued due to its military capabilities, and it leads the entirety of the Nordic kingdom in military capabilities. Compared to, like, the House of Aes, for example, who focus more on their trade ports. And while they are a main focus for the house when it comes to economics, Swindon definitely outdoes them in most cases. So as you can imagine, different houses have different values. However, the most important, as he continues and kind of pulls off his glasses, starts wiping them down with the cloth of his cloak, he goes... at the final candidacy, once the 3 candidates are decided upon, they must each offer up something that they personally value as sacrifice to prove that they would be a king who would see to his people first. Most commonly is those they travel with are to give their lives in exchange for the new king. Their blood is then gathered together upon their sacrifice, and they are turned into either a weapon or a piece of armor that the king must wear for his entire crowning, to show proof of his sacrifice, as well as to remind him of the sacrifice he made. So I assume you lot are completely fine with being sacrificed.
Can I
The day
insight?
he thinks
I
I'll die
would
for him is the day that I might throw him off a cliff.
Pebble,
to
you
say
can
it.
incite him. Yes.
I don't know about this whole sacrifice thing. I suppose we'll have to talk to him about it. I
He
assumed he'd
is telling the
sacrifice an
truth.
item, though. Like that cannon of his he has, or something of the like.
Oh, it's not common. I mean, unless he's got some family artifact, but in that case, he'd also have to give up his family name in that exchange. At which point, also...
The fact that his house was already usurped from him wouldn't be hard for him.
Are you so sure about that? Are
Given that we
you...
were chased out of his town, yeah.
Are you sure that he wasn't... Torrington kind of straightens up and goes, are you not familiar with the story of House Windsor and the reason why Lord Hawken was exiled out of his household?
From what the rebels there
No.
told us, I'm going to say not entirely, but I have enough of the gist and I've been traveled enough to know that it's not all sunshine and roses.
Yes.
And I don't need to know more.
Well, I think it is maybe it is up for you lot to decide if you wish to hear. Should you not care and be completely comfortable traveling with a man such as him, I fully understand, but we wouldn't have detained him the way we did if we didn't consider him an extreme danger. Besides the
Well,
assassination attempt, of course. Well, there are many assassination attempts on royalty, as many of you are probably familiar with. That's a very common thing. Everyone wants to wear the crown. Everyone wants the serfs to suddenly be in the majority, or, you know, to have this new
Or
king.
some people just want to get paid.
Not relatable, but I've heard
Crown
about a
thought-
lot of royal assassinations lately, so I believe you.
I'd rather be a general than a king, but I get it.
He nods and
Yeah,
goes, I agree with that. I'd rather never be the forefront. The man who wears the crown is the man who never sits easy. And that is not worth my, the stress that comes with it. Life is stressful enough, as he smiles.
Oh, definitely.
not.
I mean,
And stops tinkering with potions so we can give the man his full attention because he's been slowly still going.
and the stuffy clothes. I mean, imagine me having to wear royal clothes. I could never. I mean, they probably wouldn't fit most of them, but that's beside the point.
Sigrun, I'm
Torgan
gonna break it
smiles.
to you now. That necklace means that basically you are royalty, but you get to be royalty-free royalty.
No, it's not that. It's just a gift I was given. I don't have royal, political, whatever power. You know, I can't order people to go kill people for me.
You're the consort. You are the consort of Zarius Zarius. That's as high up on the royalty as I think you'll ever want to be.
Not to
You don't have to act like royal.
interrupt your very important conversation, but I don't want to keep you here more than I have to. And I imagine you lot have things to do. You seem like important people with quests that, you know, very much to have a time limit on them. So allow me to get right to the point.
Yes.
As he looks at each of you, he goes, Your friend has been convicted of attempted murder for attempting murder on a royal prince, and not just one, but three of them, through both poisoning and blatant force. It has been confirmed that he is conspiring with the criminal organization known as the Circus, who have been currently trying to instill their own position of power in the Orc Kingdom to work into our royal treasury. And he looks and he goes, I believe that your friend Hawken of House Windsor has gotten caught up in their requests, and they have been, and unfortunately due to this, I am a little worried about releasing him and him not coming back to try and finish the job. Now, he wishes to take this to a trial, in which case he will be put in a zone of truth to confirm his answers, and at which point my brother, who is the leading member of the household and the highest-ranking nobility here, will decide his fate. And as you can imagine, my brother's probably not going to be too favorable for a man who is attempting to kill him. So I've been sent here to ask you lot of your opinion if you would like stand beside him and agree that he is innocent, or if you lot would state that he is guilty. If it does help at all, he did admit that he would not kill or sacrifice your friend Lucius, but that Lucius was the only one he wouldn't attack. If that adds to any of this. As he kind of looks about, looking to try and figure out which one's Lucius.
That's a good point.
Temdar looks over at Lucius. So Lucius, you want to be king instead? Because we could just see if you can get qualified. Save us some time.
Technically, Torgan speaks up. Any Nord can become king. They just have to announce their interest and then perform quests. Each king candidate gets a different quest.
I mean, define guilty and innocent. I mean, intent to kill and actually killing are two different things. What are the orc laws on that?
Well, both are crimes.
Well, if it had been a normal orc and a commoner, a day in jail and a sobering to make sure that there wasn't anything in their system, then they'd be let free. Should they continue to preach their want to kill another, then they would be expected to fight it out in a court. After they've been proven not to be under any sort of influences. Unfortunately for your friend Hawken, he is under the influence of a divine being, though we don't comprehend it, and thus we are required to put him down without a chance of a proper trial of combat, should he choose. He will be...
Temdar starts rubbing his head. Yeah, Cat Liz. Oh, headache after headache, I guess, with him. She's a remaining gods of, I do believe he said of the Beyond.
Torgan nods.
Something like that.
Sure, gods from the Beyond lands. He nods and goes, now, my real question is, will you stand beside him and preach his innocence, or will you step away and allow the trials to go as they need to?
Do we get a chance to talk to him before this place?
Unfortunately, due to his magical capabilities, we cannot chance one of you lot being turned to go berserk as he looks over at Sigrun and the Pebble and goes, no offense, but while my men wouldn't be able to deal with you very well, I don't want to chance my life either. So, if you don't mind my caution here.
I mean, it's understandable. Is there not like an anti-magic thing you could put in place, though?
He shakes his head and says, sadly, not in this situation, not that we can guarantee 100%.
I'd like to insight that one.
Sure. And Lucius, what were you trying to say?
I was just going to sit up and be like, so, obviously you know his reputation, right?
He goes, yes, he has assassinated nobles, he killed my unfortunate old magic casting friend, a friend I'd been exchanging letters with, the Prince of the Fire Giants. I also know that he is responsible for the entire genocide of the humans of the Isle of Man, as well as the assassination of the previous one of the previous kings of the Nordic lands. King Naza was going to be the next king, as we had decreed prior to making the announcement. But unfortunately, it seems his life was ended prior to.
The pebble kind of scratches like I didn't think he was that strong when I met him. But
There's a slight big difference here. You have one thing out of that wrong, and I will gladly say, because I lived there, he's not the one that is solely responsible for killing the human.
He
There was
still
a lich
killed more
involved.
than enough, and and even a lich is
I didn't kill any of them,
generally
fuck.
evil. He is associated with evil. And he looks. Torgan kind of looks over to Lucius as Lucius begins to speak.
Here is my stance on this whole thing. If he is the master assassin that the world has said he is, and you claim he had intention to kill, do you think you would be standing here to tell us this?
Torgan takes
The man
a
is
minute
innocent.
and looks at you, Lucius, and goes, I did contemplate that. A master assassin should have been able to easily wipe out my guards, and, I mean, he may have been difficult, or my brother may have put up a good fight. My brother's well-trained and a very well-respected leader. Myself, well, as he looks at himself, this as a skinnier orc, goes, I am not, as you can imagine, built for combat nearly as well, nor dealing with an assassin. But he did give himself up willingly, and I do wonder if this is not part of his master plan. I was concerned about this, that's why we had dimensional shackles put on him, just in case. The wine itself we have had investigated to make sure it wasn't explosive, as I was concerned that he might have implanted it with the hopes that we would look into it and that would be part of his escape. Thankfully, nothing has happened, and as he says this, you hear a massive explosion on the other side of the castle.
God damn it!
And Torgan goes, if you don't mind, do you mind staying here? If it's an invasion, you'll be released immediately. Do not worry.
It's
Okay,
invasion. Do you
good.
mind if I punch something? Because I'm getting a little frustrated with things here. And I don't want to hurt anybody that doesn't.
Torgan just turns, ignoring Demidar, and runs to the door.
But I like explosions. I want to
Think of it. No, think
Temidar
of
just
it
goes
like
back to his
this,
potions.
Temidar. If someone tries to hit you, you have the right to punch them in the face 5,000 times. And she pats your shoulder.
A few explosions go by in the distance, and we jump over to Hawken for a moment. Hawken, we come back to you as you're sitting there trying to talk to the commander. The commander is telling you about orc culture, telling you how the trial's going, that you'll be challenged to one-on-one combat. Orc will either fight you personally, or a champion of his will fight you to determine. And it explains basically, relatively, you might have still a chance at getting your assassination off. As the orc commander doesn't see you actually getting out of here and leaving in actuality, he expects someone to come in here and and execute you in the cell. But he lets you know, still answering your questions to the best of his ability, being fully courteous. As you suddenly hear
Awesome.
a massive explosion coming from above you and further off to the right, exactly where you knew the princes were staying. And the orc commander kind of stands up and goes, wait here, as if imagining you have an option, and starts running to the door, runs out and starts commanding, and you hear him shouting for his troops to go, running about. And a few seconds later, you hear the stones themselves suddenly come collapsing into the wall, as the orc Goliath is standing there in full-on, what you recognize as a woman's dress, makeup, bright red lipstick, and his hair done up and all frilly, but covered and soaked in mud from head to toe.
No.
And he looks at you and goes, friend! And he pats you on the shoulder as he starts to bring you towards the hole in the wall. Friend
Fuck it, why
follow.
not?
And
Fuck it, we ball.
he starts pulling you out of this tunnel, and as you walk out, you see, as you get pulled out of this tunnel, you're about 10 feet underground. As you crawl out, you see the devastation of what looks to have been once a decently sized orc, and his head on a spike. You see a couple of splatterings of magic here and there, the grass itself having its life sucked out of it, and you notice some of the houses and or some of the roof and bricks themselves seem to have turned almost this black and brittle color. And the half-orc Goliath goes, friend run, don't come back. And he pats you on the shoulder and says, friends who jump.
Alright.
And he kind of turns you around and kind of gives you a light tap on the back to get you moving in the right direction.
Let's get a move on.
As you
Another
start...
place we can never return to.
As you start running, you hear chaos as you see people in fully black and outfits, completely covered from head to toe, almost, and you see that their eyes seem to be covered by strange, darkened spots that seem to kind of cover their whole face as you look at them. Seem to be jumping around the entirety of the castle, and you hear screams coming from everywhere. As you come running out, we'll come back to you in a minute. Sigrun, Lucius, the Pebble, and Temidar, as the secondary explosion is heard, the tower itself starts to shake and crumble, and the door kind of just falls off the hinges and hits the ground. Temidar being the closest to the door, is just barely able to see. Temidar, you just see two big piles of what look to be blood and some sort of bits of orc floating about.
Okay, we're gonna walk out of here very calmly. I pack up my stuff and put it back in the thing, putting the case back where it goes.
Okay.
And if someone tries to stop us, we beat the fuck out of them and leave. Anybody in disagreement?
I'm not.
As the Pebble starts charging out, pushing Temidar to the side and just shoving through the door. Pebble, as soon as you walk out, there is blood, pieces of orc everywhere, scattered. It's almost as if someone played fucking. Oh, what's the fuck? Now I just lost the track of what I was going to reference.
A fight, and I wasn't invited. I'm insulted.
I'm also insulted.
I'm gonna take a vial of the orc blood because every creature has different magical properties, so this might have something.
As you start grabbing some of the blood, it's like a scene out of Dead Space. There are just corpses everywhere. And as you start running towards the exit, you see as a couple of black, darkened figures come sprinting through. Temidar, you're actually impressed. These people seem to keep up even for your speed. As you see Torgan for a second kind of reaching out towards you guys, and immediately as soon as you see these two darkened figures come in, Torgan is ripped to shreds. His body just collapses with a wet splat, and the two figures disappear.
Can I?
Damn it!
You know what? I'm gonna go grab his body.
Okay.
And just stuff it into my bag of holding.
This seems like not the time nor the place.
Shut up!
I'm
I'm
gonna be
ingredient
honest.
shopping.
As I walk past Temidar doing that, I'm like, well, that's not going to come back to bite us in the ass.
No, definitely not.
It's just
believe me, when I'm done, they won't be able to recognize him. It's fine.
As the rest of the party starts heading out, you see Hawken kind of jogging out of the city with orcs on his ass, chasing him. Bows being shot off.
Probably.
I'm rushing up. I'm gonna kill them.
As he turns to say this, every few seconds, the orcs that stop to take a second, suddenly a bolt sticking out of their necks and drop, and more orcs come chasing him.
Master you know what? Fuck it! Eat fucking bolts, motherfuckers!
Say hello to my little friend!
As Temidar jumps in, joining as he starts running around, slicing next, as Sigrun, the Pebble, and Lucius join in on
I'm
this.
just punching. I'm not even
we're gonna run after
I'm
our
testing out my
friend.
gauntlets and fire damage.
Kill!
Lucius?
I'm growing bigger and full body sprinting.
Okay, and Lucius, yourself as well?
Like a
Oh yeah, I'm just beating the shit out of people with Toothless Beholder.
As I enter, I will. If we're entering combat, I'll rage as well.
As I circle around, when I pass Hawk and I whisper to him, by the way, you got the youngest, you got the priest, not the oldest. Have fun. Yeah, I have the proof for you.
As
wanting him alive.
Hawken, as you're just watching as your party just comes rushing out, just starts as they see you suddenly turning and shooting bolts, they start just grabbing guards and throwing them about and beating them. As the entire city envelops in the chaos of a full race war. You watch as Nords start coming out of a couple of the taverns, start getting in fistfights with orcs, and there's a full-on riot as the city.
I look at him. Okay,
where is he?
now we leave.
No, where is he? Where's the eldest?
I will say,
I'm fucking here to kill him.
dead.
I'm gonna kill him.
I'm not even unsheathing my weapon. I'm just punching because my punch damage is 8. I'm one
No,
shot.
yeah, you're good. As
Yeah.
you lot kind of come to the dead center of the town in the market district, as everything starts to set on fire, explosions, magic being shot off in the air, you hear screams of freedom, riots going on. At some point, you hear an orc commander shout, "The princes are dead, retreat, the city has been lost."
Hey, look, you did it. Let's leave.
Don't you need like evidence?
I have
Yes.
the youngest
Where
prince.
is his body?
I slowly pull out the
I'm
youngest
going
prince's
to
body.
take his. I'm gonna take his head.
As you
I'm
start
gonna fucking get
shouting
him.
this, no, orcs start retreating and running out of the city as you watch as the Nords seem to start to build up battle lines following you a lot. You get a small following about 50
men!
yards.
Forward!
As
You know what? It's fine.
coming together as a party heading towards the central castle, the inner fortress of the city, leading this small army. You arrive, and the city has gone to almost a dead silent, minus the occasional crackling fire and buildings smoking. One of the Nords goes running into the castle ahead of the party, and comes running out and holding up a head of a mustached orc that looks to be quite large, and goes, "Victory!" And then you hear a couple more Nords start charging in as flags or people start grabbing
what?
flags and raising them up.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna rush through and find the treasury.
Okay.
Really quickly, I'm doing that, yes. I'm moving faster than all of these fuckers. I'm robbing this place.
As you lot charge into the castle, it is undefended and empty as the Nords begin taking over and start cleaning up the bodies. Temidar, as you start running around, you don't spot any sort of armory or vaults or anything. It is just a single floor castle. You aren't even able to find any sort of dungeon from below.
Something's up.
As you all come
Sigrun hit
into...
What?
Sigrun, as you're kind of chilling in the central with the rest of the party, as Hawkins starts laying out plans to see if he can find the prince. In comes Temidar and just shouting for Sigrun for you to hit him.
What?
Something doesn't seem right. Hit me. I need to know if this is an illusion.
Can I punch him? I'll do it.
Okay, I will hit him.
Okay.
Let me
roll to attack.
roll that unarmed strike. I'll roll it on DD Beyond, because why not? 27 to hit?
Yeah, that hits me.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
I just do an automatic
Alright.
7
So
bludgeoning
as you're
damage.
punched, Temidar slammed to the ground. Tooth kind of comes out, a little bit of blood on your lip. It's still the same.
Alright. It might not be an
You had a
illusion,
plus
but
2 to
beware.
that damage, because I'm increased, but whatever. Yeah,
So
that's
9.
fine.
There you go.
Good to know. You did exactly 1/11 of my health.
As you kind of stand back up, one of the Nords comes in and sets down 2 more heads and goes, I was a servant in the castle at one point. These are the 2 princes' heads.
Oh,
2 of the
wonderful.
3.
Well, I don't know where the priest is.
Temidar slowly
Oh.
pulls the priest out of his bag of holding. I made sure to take a hold trophy.
He looks at nods.
Maybe
and
you
goes,
shouldn't just... Okay, it's fine.
Want
Which
What are you
one's
talking
the
about? He was the
eldest?
strongest magic user here. I
Hey,
can make good potions out
Which
of
one's
this.
orc?
The old human kind of hands you the mustached orc head and goes, "This is Prince Orc. You do know, by the way, you've basically decreed the Nordic wars on the orcs by doing this." He looks at you. If you wouldn't mind, your lordship, he kind of kneels to one knee and goes, "I would be willing to take hold of this fortress in your name. I was a soldier in some of the Knoll conflicts, and served under your father of House Windsor," as he nods.
I'll be your name, soldier.
He goes, "My name is simply just nothing of note to you, my lord."
Well, that's not
Well, then what do I call you by?
He looks at you and goes, "Simply just call me Daredal.
Daredal.
My
Well, Daredal.
surname
Insight
has been
check?
lost to note as I lost my position as a commander." He nods.
My insight check this
Sure.
guy, just because he mentioned being a soldier and knowing Hawkins, Sigrun wants to see if she gets good soldier vibes off this guy.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
2 + 1.
3?
Has sword, armor, must be soldier. Yes, 3 total.
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth. He does seem to be generally hiding something very obviously, but it does seem to be that he is telling the truth to the story.
He's a soldier.
So what was the motive behind the sudden attack, I wonder?
He kind of the man kind of stands up and looks at you lot and goes, "If I may speak freely, my lord."
You may.
He goes, the assassination attempt by the criminal organization known as the Circus is to blame. Their leader has been indoctrinated into godship, and thus they believe themselves protected and have begun valiantly invading local markets that they have been able to break into and forcing them open. Economically, the Circus has managed to gain more power than we expected. They've partnered up with the Bank of Slencia itself to assist in the land opening of the areas.
Hearing that the leader of the Circus has ascended, Temidor freezes for a moment. So she's not dead.
Oh, I forgot y'all thought I was dead. That's right. Yay!
Either way, she's still getting a fucking grave. Fuck her. She could have wrote me a damn letter.
What made you Irish?
That Temidor walks out of the fucking room. He's a little pissed.
Alright.
Alright then, soldier. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while. My home has been taken from me. My family is dead. I feel like my name doesn't mean anything anymore. Might as well just go with the name that my soldiers gave to me on the field of battle. I would like you to also share in that name with me. Join me as a Firecrest. You may run this fort.
The man kind of kneels once more and goes, "My lord, I am definitely not worthy. I am simply just a soldier who cut and run when the odds were against him and could not save a small village."
Well, a lord needs a noble, correct? Well, a fort needs a noble to run it to be a lord.
I do not feel myself appropriate to be a steward, as he kind of continues to lower his head.
Okay, well, we'll shelve the topic for now, and how about in a few months, if you've shown some worth, we'll revisit this topic then.
He smiles and nods and goes, You do me the honor, my lord. If you wouldn't mind, may I ask, do you intend to take out the rest of the Orcish lands, or are you going to return to the Nordic lands to claim kingship?
I feel I need to become king and reunite and unite all the people, but if the orcs do stand in my way, they will fall like all the rest here today.
Well,
do I see anything when I step outside, by the way?
Carnage and cleanup.
You know what? I'll help clean things up by lighting my fist on fire and help by lighting the body piles. It'll be fine.
First, I become king of the Nords. Next, the orcs. Then the Heli. If things
I'm
go
down
according to
for
plan,
that.
that is.
Sir, if this is the case, I may be of better assistance than rather than a local steward, as he kind of pops his shoulder and goes, I am very good with my hands, if you will. I'm well known for my crafts back home, but unfortunately they were looked upon differently.
What did you build, soldier? If I might ask.
I make golems. I'm a golem specialist. One of my my family used to be one of the greatest golem creators, even compared to the Vadan themselves.
That can be very useful. You shall be the golem keeper, then.
He nods and goes, I appreciate your service, and I'll not let you down. I'll make sure to have this entire city within set up for whoever the steward will let be that takes over, and I'll make sure that our golem production immediately begins to produce an army that should be able to assist you in your conquest.
Go with peace, soldier. Go get yourself a drink. You've earned it.
He turns and marches off, and you hear him start shouting as people are running about. Congratulations, people. You've conquered your first city.
Temidor is still burning bodies, and he's thinking about sending off a letter.
I don't feel accomplished. I didn't get to stab enough people.
I got to punch a bunch of people, but we're heading back into the Nordlands. Temidor's gonna pop back in now and go, we're heading back to that one city, right?
I say at this
course.
point, to kind of set the scene for you guys, you stand in the middle of a torn up chapel. The windows are shattered. The pews themselves, most of them are snapped or busted up for firewood and shoved to the sides. The carpet has been charred. A table, a very rough table, sits at the center with a map displayed out of the entirety of the continent itself that you're currently on. And has the cities themselves dotted out as well as the geographic design on the map. As you lot kind of stand around with a simple candle to lighten up the room a bit more, as it's still even with the windows shattered, there's still a bit of darkness without the candles that were set up prior and the chandelier that got destroyed in the wake. People coming in and out are grabbing things, cleaning up bodies, moving them about. Orders can be heard. The occasional cries and crumbling in the distance can be heard. The city is still very much on fire, and smoke plumes seem to be going everywhere as you lot kind of stand around.
Alright, so there's two things we can do. One, we could head back, let them know you've completed your job here, as well as pick up an airship and get it set up to be armored and everything that you'll need, since you seem to be hell-bent on making an enemy of everyone.
I do what must be done, Temidor.
And while I don't disagree with this course of action, I'm just gonna let you know there's going to probably be more repercussions than you even count on.
So
I think that's the smartest way to go. Lucius, I'm gonna leave the rest of this the rest of whatever you're thinking, because I can tell it's on your face, to you.
Obviously in this journey, at one point or another, we're going to have to address the elephant in the room of House Windsor. Even more so now that some light has been shed on it. We know that that house has the most pull when it comes to the kingship.
I actually have been trying to work out something for that, and I may have a plan. Hawken, we might want to go slay some rust monsters before we deal with House Windsor. I'd
Why
say
is
doing
that?
it sooner rather than later. Working with a contact, I may be able to create and procure a vial of anti-magic. Something to stop casters dead in their tracks.
Well, you know that Windsor isn't a highly magical. They have massive walls. The cannons can still fire without magic.
I'm not so much worried about the cannons as much as I'm worried about getting in there, slipping in, and making sure that the little the snake that has taken the throne from you there can't use his spells, because from the events that you told us about, he's a caster of sorts.
Most likely, yes.
DM.
As well as I'd like to make sure we have an extra vial.
Attuning to the spell book, would I have read through it?
You gain the spells as you do look through. You find the information on the spells, but you do not actually find any information on the Lord itself or the origin of the item or anything else besides that. You realize that the reason why is because of the god you're currently stuck and sworn with, which is Kedliz.
I hold up the book and I'm like, well, I might also have something for the magic problem.
Ah, yes.
2 solutions are better than 1. And rust monsters would give us all a chance to exercise ourselves a little bit and gain some more strength.
Temidor, I appreciate you thinking ahead of what must happen.
Oh
to
no,
my
there's a
former
personal
home.
reason behind this as well. There's a certain gnomish bastard that I'd love to shove it down his throat, and I think Sigrun will agree with me there. As well as
I understand.
a potion
But every
variety that would...
second, listen, every second that I and all of us aren't working to get as much support as I can, other people could claim the throne before I do. We do not need House Windsor or the Windsor to become king. I just need everybody else, essentially. And that's what I'll do.
Well, then let's get the airship so we can travel faster.
Couldn't
He'll
have said
handle the
it better
monster.
myself. But it's time for me to get my gun and turn in that quest. Lucius, I know I've been neglecting you. I don't
saying that to him like it's like a jilted lover. Goddamn.
I've been neglecting you. I know. Just know that you are not forgotten. I do not know who will take control of this fortress. But I would like you to be in charge of this place when all is over and done with, if that is suitable for you. I don't know if I can give you my homeland as of yet. If I can, I might. But like I told you before, I would like my own kin one day to run that place. I hope you understand.
Yep, that is understandable.
I'm glad. All right. Anybody have problems with anything that's happened here today? Please let me know.
You suddenly see a small hand pop up behind Temidar.
Come forth and speak. Who are you?
As you all turn and look, as suddenly this figure appears with none of your guys' passive perceptions picking up on this person, a small and very young-looking Hawken seems to be standing there. Somewhat translucent, though. Hawken, you recognize this pretty simply as a younger version of you. It's identical in every way. As the creature kind of walks up to the table and kind of walks through it slightly, backs up for a moment and goes, apologies, I'm still learning how to pilot these things. The spell's new to me. And he kind of backs up for a second and goes, I haven't figured out emotions, so if I'm smiling when I'm upset, I very much apologize. This is a new found technology for me. He goes for a minute. Allow me to introduce myself, or rather, reintroduce myself. I'm very proud of you, good brother, as it suddenly starts to smile. You managed to claim a title of your own, and even managed to get an army. However, have you thought about the fact that you've just pissed off the Orc Queen, and now she has an excuse to invade our lands, and that the Orcs can produce quicker than Nords, and as we don't have a unified battle line, you're basically looking at putting together an army of noble houses who haven't fought together in a long time with no standing training between them. Sounds like you might need support, older brother, I guess, in this case. So I'm going to offer you a deal. I wouldn't have come here without it, as I imagine our relation's a little strained. Simply put, if you can manage to kill the Orc Queen and take over the country, House Windsor, as well as House Swindon, as well as, on top of that, the houses of Fowther and Tartan will all back you as king and will guarantee you the crown. I will not stand in your way, and instead will offer my utmost assistance, as long as you stick with your new house name and go forward with the quest I request. And
So
just
be it.
think, your friends get to show off their bigger muscles, as it turns and smiles towards Sigrun and the Pebble.
Yes!
Or potion arts that you might uncover that the Orc Queen may have hid, as he suddenly turns to Temidar. And he looks over at Lucius and goes, I got nothing for you, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh no, he wants revenge on certain
Lucius,
magic.
lift
If you
weights
can
with me.
assist with that, then I think you'll have him set. You'll think you'll have him heading straight for it too.
Thank you,
Okay.
good Temidar, for that information, as it smiles and turns back to Hawken.
Okay, little brother. I accept your terms. I will not forget what you've done to my family, but this is not a time to reminisce on what is, was, or could have been. We march, but I must get my gun.
Understandable, dear brother, and don't worry, I have not forgotten your disrespectful attitude when you're arriving in the proper Lord of Windsor's household. As he rubs his hands together as a small, childish version of you, and goes, "But, should it make you feel any better, I have no interest or intent in bothering with your kingship, or any of your compatriots should they not bother me. I am but an interested party, but not a severe one. Now,
Just treat my
is
people.
rely on
Just treat
some people.
your people right. That's all I ask.
The only thing I may do is bring your people trade.
keep your damn drugs in your
Oh, no,
own
not to say,
prison
Get
wallet.
your damn drugs out of there. We can
Oh, no.
agree on this one.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking potions.
And if
Potions.
and should this one die, you lot might be better off for it. That is my free advice, dear brother. As he points to Temenar and vanishes. He goes, "Never forget, brother. There are parties grander than you watching now." As it disappears. Poor Sigmund, Pebble, and Lucius just standing and watching this.
Why does everybody think I'm just going to sell drugs? That was my
I
mother's.
mean,
you've
you
been
talk
talking
about
about?
your stuff a lot.
Temodar has not once ever said he wants to sell the drugs.
Yeah,
Not
put a
once.
link. I'm doing that right now.
God damn it. A potion is a drug, yes. Alright. As you
But we
know.
have
Go
quite
ahead.
the journey to
Sorry,
Well,
Lucius, go
first-
ahead.
go get what's yours. So
All right.
Where
Let's
does
get
the
a move
party
on.
head then?
We are going back to the town that we can
I need a weapon.
actually do shit in
And
and turn in this quest.
You're going back to
I
the
forget-
city of Veletito?
Yep, so I can get my weapon back and then we'll head back to the front.
Okay.
Well, no, we
The
aren't heading straight
front.
back to the front.
Alright.
Logistics first, my friend. Logistics first.
Well, this is the front. This city.
I will say, Hawken, as you and the party start to head out now, kind of winding up the map and putting it away, one of the the soldiers all the Nords seem to kind of stand out front. Now you guess there's roughly about 100 fighting men and probably around a good 300 Nords in total here. And the man from early, Daredal, kind of steps forward and goes, "My lord, what is your orders?" As everyone
Set up
kind of comes to attention.
Set up defenses. That's all we need right now. Train. Get more people. Send word. We are going to fight these orcs and take them down.
He nods and goes. He turns around and he starts spouting out orders. And goes, "You heard the master assassin. The House of Firecrest will push forward. Begin preparations." And you see as people start scattering about, grabbing documents, moving stones, and they seem to scatter.
Mm-hmm. I will look to the party and be like, "Listen, guys, I don't know if I'll actually be able to leave, so I'll try to go with you guys. But if they need me here, I can't go and get my gun. I feel like they need me here.
Then
So
send
are you
somebody
guys
else.
willing?"
I'm going to be handling something specifically built for this, and getting it commissioned and built quickly,
Okay.
since you want to rush. Sigrun, do you think you can handle going and getting the guns since you know
The
where I'm
Pebble is
at?
willing to make them.
The
Actually,
Pebble?
no. Never
I-
mind. How about this? You guys stay. And I'll
Yeah,
go.
no, I
You
need
me,
to go get
Lucius.
this built.
Mulwin, trust in the Pebble. Go get the gun.
Listen, you'll
I
be my
mean-
lieutenants and generals here.
Oh,
You guys know what I would want, correct?
No,
No.
I don't know you.
Yeah, probably guess, but maybe you'll want to write out some stuff.
Golem Master, I need you to come here real quick.
Daredal comes running back and goes, "My lord, how may I be of further assistance?"
I have to head back over to acquire a weapon. What once was my family weapon, but will now be under a new title. Are you able to run this fort while I'm gone?
And he goes, "There's not much to run, but I should be able to keep it standing." You hear
No.
suddenly in the distance a collapsing building. Mostly.
Well, at least there's not too many people that need to live here anymore.
For now.
If I may ask, what is our policy? Are we going with the supremacy of the Nords?
Any who will fight with us can, no matter who or what they are. But any who stand in our way will be dropped without question.
He nods and kind of turns and goes, I should be able to handle this, my lord. Should an invasion be popped off, or the orcs show en masse, I will make sure a message is sent to you.
Very good, soldier. Go with good health.
He nods and starts running off, and you hear him barking orders as things begin to start to work. Peasants begin working. Buildings begin.
All right, everyone. Yep. All right, everyone. Let's head out.
All right. As the party heads out of the town, you begin to watch as the peasantry starts putting up, working on the walls. You hear fires being put out, orders going around. And as you leave, you hear the last words of the cheering people for the Fire Crest. The fire that will encapsulate the world. And as you lot start heading off in the distance, the voices stop to be heard. You guys are about a good few miles from the city on the road, and it's pretty quiet as you're heading down this road. You can see Litito in the far, far distance, but y'all have some time together to come up with plans, talk, discuss anything as needed.
Given that I know how to get a hold of the circus, Hawken, do you want their help? Extra chaos and everything maybe assist you in slaughtering the rest of the orcs.
Technically, I don't know if we them, but the guy who gave me the list said if we killed the 3 princes, he'd ally with us, and they are dead, so...
Sigrun, my mother was the one who ran that circus.
That makes sense. Your mother seems like the type.
Like I stated before, Temidar, any who will stand with us, we will accept. Any against will fall.
I'll try and send a letter to convince them to assist then, because rather than
I do want to know what their demands are, because everyone has demands.
Most likely, magic items, especially if Mother is now a god.
The only
She's
problem
a
is
god?
how zealot, how much of how, I guess, devoted they are.
Well, they should love us then. We were party members of the god they serve now. Surely
True,
they would
but
love
we
us.
also serve a different god. Well, at least me and Lucius do.
Yeah, and
It's
because
kind
of
of
you
a contract deal.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a... I'll go with this. A buy one, get 4 more.
I feel like that makes sense.
We will see how they act in the coming days.
I'll also
and
see
what their
about getting
demands
an
are.
armored war airship get ready as soon as possible. It's probably going to take the rest of my funds, but oh well. Working with complicated bones, I should be able to re-up that. Speaking of which, I'm going to send a message to him through the World News Bracelet, and...
To who?
To Complicated Bones, asking him if he wants a magic orc corpse.
Okay.
I kind of gotta... Oh yeah, the priest. Sucks that he died, I'll be honest, guys. Really sucks that he died, but oh well.
He was gonna kill you regardless.
You know, I don't know, guys.
And half of me, yes, I'll admit, was rooting for your death there, but I'm glad we avoided it.
I kind of noticed that, Cameron.
It's whatever happened,
Did you also hear the part was like, yeah, I'd rather go to trial than betray my friend? Yeah, I also heard that, because I said it.
Well, I didn't get a chance. Lucius spoke for us on that part.
The Pebble would like to begin using Temidar as an arm curling bar.
I'm not against this. It'll allow me to train to keep my core more tight. I've gotten looser with it.
Perfect.
Alright, anything else? Anybody's got anything to say about anything that's been going on Anything
Yeah.
that might have happened while I was separated from you guys? Anything?
I've just been thinking that I don't know if we have good contact with him still, and I look at Timidar. But once this city is a little more secure, maybe Somalis would want to set up some kind of shop. If
And
Hawken would
he's-
allow it.
That isn't.
He's-
I freaking love Somalis.
Temidar smiles. Well, it's good to let you know then that he joined the circus.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
And he's the
wonderful.
one that
Wonderful.
passed me that letter that I handed you back in Windsor.
Also, that he is one of the 5 richest people in the world, as you would see in the news bracelet.
Yeah.
You know, I
Also,
actually
by
haven't
this,
watched the
he's
most recent
fucking
World
loaded.
News, so we'll see what.
Hunter Somalis is one of the top 5 richest people in the world.
Oh, freaking awesome! You know, but he's a good friend of mine. We
You
vibe.
could make him, and if you become king, you
Yes.
could technically put him in the place of the master tradesman.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to pull a note out of my pocket. I'll be like, well, it also looks like this battle with the orcs may play into my favor. And I hand the note out to whoever takes it first.
Yes.
Temidar, I'll grab it.
I'll
You
take
pass
it, but I
around,
can't.
that's what
Probably
it
can't
says,
read
in
it.
badly written common.
Yep.
The Pebble spoke first.
Mm. Yeah, let the pebble take it.
Pebble, read it
Oh,
aloud
Lucius.
for us.
I will tell you, Lucius. I'm pretty sure that priest was a friend of the one you seek, as he was telling me that I should kill you, because it would be in the best interest of his friend.
Well, I'm guessing that friend is the Orc Queen's concubine, meaning
I
that
get to fight a
an uncle.
concubine? Yes.
You get
Oh,
to fight
yeah,
a
and I could
magical
fight another
concubine,
one.
Pebble.
This will be fun. Concubine versus concubine.
Also,
I feel like I
Sigrun-
have the upper hand.
Sigrun, could I get some hair and whatnot from you? I think you might be able to help us resist magic.
Are you a little cold? Yeah, I
No.
could shave some of my mane off if you really need it.
I throw
No,
a
I'm
bundle
just-
for it, Temidar.
Say yes,
If it's
Cameron.
Scrofface
Just
fur,
fucking say
it is not.
yes.
It is not Scrofface. I need Scrofface
No,
for magical
It's
properties.
animal fur, because Sigrun said you were cold.
I
Yeah.
have my own. Sigrun, you know how you resist magic?
Yes, very much.
I want to try and put that in a bottle for the rest of us so we can all resist magic.
Magic resistance.
Oh, and you're going
Wait.
to make people drink my hair.
No, grow bigger muscles,
Interesting.
resist magic naturally.
I'm just gonna
I'd
take a
be
small
honest,
knife
I
out and
tried
take some
that
hair off of her.
initially with Hawken. We did a little bit of straight trading, and it didn't go well. And she leans towards Pebble. I've kind of lost hope on these two bulking up, but it's fine. They have their own,
I have
methods.
a 19 in strength. Fuck you.
I'll set up a weight.
I have an 18. You know this.
Only a
Temidar's ripped.
19, only an 18.
Sigrun, did you
okay.
remember to set up the meal plan?
Anyways,
yeah,
the
we'll
meal-
just
Listen,
Anyways,
listen,
while
anything
you're
protein.
doing that,
Alright. Anything else important?
Yes.
Oh, the only thing I could think of was something about the guy saying you're planning to sacrifice us and make us into weapons, but that kind of sounded like scary talk. So.
Fucking excuse me?
Oh, so apparently
last
to do
challenge
the
of the
king
king.
quest, you have to sacrifice something, and he said you were planning to probably sacrifice us, but it just doesn't seem like your style, you know? Well, no, I don't think a lot of effort to bring us there and then kill us.
In the dark.
Hmm.
Did you
I'm-
take anything out of your pockets?
Mm.
Weird question. I don't know. They're not weighed down as much as they look to be normally.
I still have all of my things.
As you go to pat, the pocket you keep your silver vial in seems to be very light suddenly.
Can I
That
do the thing?
if that is gone, I'm going to.
As you reach in, the 10 gold pieces and silver vial you had in that pocket. Silver vial's gone, there are only 2 gold pieces left.
So wait, they got into my alchemical kit because it'd be worth the
No,
silver's
it was
vial
in
at.
your it was in your pocket as you had stated. At some point, I will say I did take into account. I don't worry. I've taken into account all needed things.
So I no longer have silver's vial.
Correct. And you're missing 8 gold pieces.
Am
Which
I
is
able
one
to
gold
perception
I'm
check?
not as worried about. I'm looking around and going to try and retrace my steps to find it very
Okay.
quickly.
What was that?
Because if that is gone, I am killing everybody.
I wanted a perception check for the sight of anyone like roguelike leaving, like any sign of a thief nearby, since it seemed recent.
With your perception, passive perception, none of you ever saw anybody reach into Temedar's pockets or like avoid the party, other than that original 2 black figures that seemed to completely slaughter that prince. Those are the only roguish like figures you ever saw that seemed to be anywhere near. And you all did realize pretty clear that that was an astral projection of whoever was the small Hawken, which means that they wouldn't physically be able to take anything.
Yeah,
Which
and
means
I'm
that I
pretty
got
sure
bumped into by someone on the from the circus, and they would
Well,
have
why
stolen
would
it
the
off me.
why would the circus steal from you?
Again, my mother liked hoarding magical items. If they become zealots, this may be a way to appease
Yeah,
her.
but aren't you one of them?
I never officially joined the circus. I'm a contact
Technically,
for them.
no. He just traveled with Terra.
I'm
Well, if we're going to be
also one
talking
of
to
their
the circus,
fences.
we could just ask them.
You're what?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
also
Tim-
one of the. I was also one of the fences for them to sell goods to get them out and about.
So would it make sense if they stole from you then?
If they become zealots and gone crazy, possibly.
Well, then you're still their fence. I mean, I guess they could be with the bank, but still, you kind of were in an orcish encampment with I don't know who that was
I don't
that
know.
was talking with
I'm
you in Thieves'
going to
Camp.
find this vial though. Do I remember if there's any time that I would have noticed it being gone? What do I need to roll?
Give me a general intelligence.
Could have gotten taken when the guy led us to the tower.
A 14. Yeah, this is
So
gonna
that
be great.
priest
I'm
could have
never gonna
taken
remember.
Or the
At
tavern.
no point did anybody ever come near you close enough, Temedar, to have managed to pull that off. There's no.
I am 100%. That leaves one option. Temedar's going to step away for a moment from everybody, look up at the sky, and go, "Mother, give it the fuck back."
Could you
You hear
imagine?
from the distance. No.
No, it's as he shouts this, as you all kind of go quiet and you wait, you hear the wind kind of blowing off in the distance, the rattling of some things. That's it.
Motherfucking assholes. That was the only good thing of it that I had. That was the only artifact level thing I had. Temedar's gonna walk back. We're just going to get to the fucking place.
Hopefully we'll find it again for you, Temedar, that's for sure.
If we don't, then we are out a trump card of dealing over 100 poisoned, dealing a lot of damage and poisoning a lot of people.
Well,
That was the
it is
only
what it
reason we
is.
survived the encounter with the Krakens, if you recall.
I do recall.
Okay. So, as you lot continue heading to Latito, about another few hours pass as you lot are discussing this. Temedar, you check everything. You don't. Besides these 2 coins, these are the only things that are left in your pocket that as
I
you're looking at them.
looked the coins over a bit more.
Give
Oh,
me a-
and I do want to make this clear. Lucius, did you get the cleric spellbook? Because I know you gave it to me for a period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gave it back to me.
Okay, I was just double checking because it was still in my character sheet. And I was just trying to make sure.
Temedar, give me a investigation check.
I only get a +1 to the. Wow, a 17. Great.
Yeah, so as you look at these gold coins, they look to be pretty old. The depiction of whatever king race they are seems to be kind of rubbed off in the center, which is pretty common for coins that have been around for a long time. The markings on the outside seem to be in some sort of like runic language you're not very familiar with. It looks a mix of Dwarvish and Elvish, so it could be from somewhere in the border territories, you'd guess. As far as the gold coins go, other than a slight little rub off of where you can definitely tell where fingers have kind of rubbed the sides of it. It seems to be weighted about the same amount as a gold coin. It seems to be a normal gold coin, 2 gold coins.
What does it say, the gold coins? Because you said it was in Elvish and Dwarvish.
It's a mix of the two languages. If you speak both languages, you'll be able to read it.
Yeah, I can speak both Dwarvish and English. Elvish.
Yeah, let me PM you what you read. That's simply it, written just around it.
We who stand as one. Sigrun, does that mean anything in your funky language that you know? We who stand
for
as
one, it's giant. It's not the funky language. It's a very
I'm not
good
talking
language
about
spoken.
that funky language.
Oh, you mean Thieves' Cat? Oh yes, that is a
Yeah.
funky language. Let
Yeah.
me think.
I guess I'll take the time to attend
yeah,
to the merchant
that's
fire
it.
while we're traveling.
Yeah, give me an
Does that mean-
intelligence. Give me an intelligence check to see if
Oh
it means anything.
no. Oh no.
This
Not
is my best
jealous.
guess if it actually is something hidden.
Oh, I got an 18. 18 minus 1, 17. Good as the rolls I'll get.
Yeah, so one time, both the Dwarven and Elvish cultures, as they were starting to split, started producing gold coins to try and promote through kind of a form of propaganda to stay together as a single people rather than splitting apart. Because famously, the dwarves of the European continent turned into 4 subspecies, being gnomes, mountain dwarves, hill dwarves, and dark dwarves. And then the elves turned into the mountain elves and the drow during a major civil war. Traditionally that's just where it's usually from, historically. Besides that, it doesn't mean anything else. It's just a propaganda thing.
I like
No,
that.
it's just like propaganda because they didn't want people to like split up and separate the kingdoms. It doesn't have any thieves' cant meaning. That is general thieves' cant. If it's being used as thieves' cant, it is a specific dialect code chosen by people here.
All right,
Do
well,
I
thank you
recognize
anyways
that
for taking a look.
Code at all as anything
Of
that
course.
Tara would have set up or anything?
No, Tara would have never mentioned anything of that. It's a pretty common historical comment for a lot of nations that split up and evolved into different groups. But yeah, it's not anything usually to do with thieves. In fact, it's not usually looked upon as a criminal thing to stand together.
Well, everyone, I'm also going to say this. Treasure the potions you have. It's going to take me a while to make more.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Okay. A couple more hours go by as you lot continue your walking. Finally, you come to the city of Latito. Managing to make it to the center of town, it seems to be pretty bustling. People walking about, running about. Dwarves are walking about, Nords, some goblins here and there that seem to be of a blue or reddish colored skin. It seems to be pretty popular for things going on around here. After a little while, a little boy comes running up to you a lot as you're kind of heading towards the smithy, and prior to the party getting a chance to decide fully where it wants to go, if it wants to split up or not. A little kid comes running up, the similar one from last time, Hawken, that seems to just come running straight up to you and goes, "Lord Hawken of House Windsor, have you managed to accomplish your goal, and do you have proof?"
I do have proof, and it is the head of that orc prince that I was supposed to kill.
As you pull out the head, he takes it, and you see him start to cast magic, and he goes, "Just to simple identify, just to confirm." And immediately, it seems to his eyes seem to glow for a minute, and goes, and he kind of pulls out a little letter with a crest on it. He says, or the Aya's house crest on it, and hands it to you and goes, "This is your approval letter. You are not to break the seal until the day of the King's candidacy final test is announced."
Understood. Also, I'm no longer Windsor, if you don't mind.
I can
am
update the
now-
records.
I am now to be known as the Firecrest.
So, Lord Hawken of House Firecrest, is that correct?
Yes, young man.
And he turns to the rest of the party. Will any of them be establishing themselves as branch members of the family?
Lucius, would you like to be under my family?
Yeah, I could take a roll.
He nods and goes, "Alright, so the adoption of Lucius of House Firecrest. You will now forever be known as Lucius of House Firecrest. a recognized member of the household. And he goes, any of the rest of you? He looks about and goes,
My
Are you gonna-
bodyguard and friend.
Yeah.
nods and goes, alright, very understandable. I will make sure the records are updated. Lord Lucius, as he looks over and goes, when Lord Hawken becomes, if he manages to make it to the king's candidacy, you will be given the option of a knighthood or a noble house of your own, and lands to rule in the Nordic lands, as is tradition of the king to re-announce different noble houses and to put different houses where he wishes. Although it hasn't been done commonly, I imagine, Lord Hawken, you have your own plans. As
I
he
do.
continues to write and goes, I thank you, and I let you all know that Lucius and Hawken, you now have access to the position of a nobility within the Nordic kingdom, as he signs off the papers and goes, if you wouldn't mind, Lord Hawken, putting your blood print right here to confirm the agreement of you, Lucius joining your house, and Lucius, if you would not mind putting your bloody thumbprint here to prove that you agree.
Absolutely.
As the kid hands you a little dagger and pokes both your thumbs, and as he takes your blood, Lucius, I assume you do as well?
Yes.
Okay. You watch as your blood imprints and you feel a magical surge go through your body, and suddenly a simple design of a flaming hawk appears on your armor, Lucius, completely emblazoning itself into the armor. And he goes, all right, the contract is now set. I will let the records know. And he goes, you have a good day. And if you need anything, please feel free to stop by the local smithy. We have a guest in as of recently, a world-renowned smith that has been joining in. Something about signing up to help out with the development of a cannon that they got in.
I know that. That's my cannon.
Young man turns and goes, if you need anything else, if you're looking for me, you know where, just make sure to put the word out and I will be found.
Can you point me in the direction where to get a airship commissioned?
He goes, yes, and he points to the outer portion of the city where you see a large collection of airships kind of floating about, as well as a small, what looks to be a pool set up for a couple of boats that have been on the outskirts of town all the time. He goes, there's a shop. He goes, it should be ran, if I remember, by an old man who polymorphed him. Don't judge him on his whiskers. He does not like his whiskers judged. If you can understand that, then you're fine.
Oh, I perfectly understand that. I don't like the fact that I'm tailless being judged. So, him and I'll get along great.
He nods.
And Temidar heads off.
Okay. Sigrun, do you follow Temidar, or are you going to stick with Hawken? Or do your own thing?
I'll stick with Hawken.
Okay.
I stick with him.
Okay.
Seems smart to have someone around in case, shit happens.
All right, sounds
A lot of
good.
assassinations lately, a little bit weird.
Yeah, just a little bit concerning. Okay. And then the Pebble, how about yourself? Are you going to go with Temidar, or...
I'm gonna
Hawken?
go with Temidar. Someone should go with him.
Okay.
So-
And then Lucius, are you going on your own little mission, or are you following one of the two?
I will be with Hawken.
Okay. All right, and Hawken, I'm going to assume you're going straight to the smithy.
Yes, I'm here to collect my weapon.
All right, so we'll start with you, Lucius and Sigrun first. As you lot split off from Temidar and the Pebble as they start heading to the outskirts of town, heading back to the smithy from prior, you see there's a line out the door. There are Nords, there are dwarves, there seem to be elves even here, all waiting in line to go into the shop. You can see sparks flying of different colors out of the door. Someone gets tossed out of a second-story window, or from the second story. Something about owing money and not and being a useless gambler. And as you lot come up, you just see this long line of people outside of the smithy waiting to get in.
I'm just gonna go on to the people in line. Is sir, or ma'am, whoever it is. What are you waiting for?
The gentleman looks out, kind of turns, and is very grizzled Nord, definitely someone who works the trade. And he goes, "You not here? The greatest blacksmith in history has apparently appeared."
I wonder if my gun's finished then.
Well, fat chance. They're working on the House Windsor cannon. They're not doing any other commissions. Apparently, she's decided to make it blow up.
Yeah, that is my gun.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. Wait. That's your gun. You might want to run in there. They may have destroyed the first one.
Just running in there.
As you're turning and panicking, Lucius and Sigrun, are you chasing after her? Or are you walking calmly?
Yeah, I'll follow in.
Okay.
Yeah, follow in.
As you lot open the door, the heat just envelops you as you watch this clad in like deep dark leather, full face mask, fire going all around the room, sparks. You see the very large cannon just on the brink of it being falling apart as its glowing red cracks seem to be like starting to split even more. And you see off to the side a pile of 3 other separate cannons that have completely fallen apart and just been destroyed. All with the words House Windsor written on them. As the smith keeps working, and you see the older dwarven smith from earlier, the male who'd given you kind of crap about the fact of it being his creation, as he's kind of watching as this person is just hammering and beating the living hell out of your cannon.
I'm just gonna look at it like, what's going on? What's my gun?
There he goes.
Cannon.
Oh, well, we destroyed your cannon. He just kind of looks at you. Yeah, it was, as the lady mentioned, it was not really well put together. She said that the lines were broken, the magic was poorly written. She's redesigning the entire thing and has started anew. Those other 2 are what she melted down. She said the weapon was way too heavy unnecessarily, and so she melted it into a better version. And then she destroyed the other 3. Apparently this one hasn't held up very well either. But she says worst case scenario, she'll just melt it back down and build a new one.
Interesting.
Yeah. I took out the entirety of the magical properties. She's trying to make it just a better cannon. That's what you asked for, right? You didn't want it to shrink down or anything anymore, right?
I mean, I would have liked it to, been able to change the size, but I guess it is what it is now, huh?
Yeah, hey, you want to get in there and tell the smith to stop, you're welcome to. I don't want to get another hammer thrown at me as he rubs his head. You see like a bump on his head.
I would like to change the name, though.
Alright, he pulls out a piece of paper and goes, what would you like to name the new weapon?
Firecrest.
Alright. Yeah, so he starts writing it down, and he goes, anything special? Just, you wanted to call it the Firecrest.
Well, so on the name on it beforehand, it was just the Windsor's Liberation Cannon? Like, was that what was on it at the end?
Yeah, yes. To answer your question.
Just switch out the Windsor for Firecrests. So Firecrest's Liberation Cannon.
Next thing goes, well, and suddenly the smith, you hear all the fires go quiet, the room becomes dead cold and silent, and you see her pull off her mask and the long brown hair kind of flows to her back. This dwarven woman kind of walks over to you. Very simple features, brown eye, very narrow face, and she looks at each of you and goes, you sure you want to stick with the Firecrest Liberation Cannon? Magic items have, their words and naming really defines what they are. You really should come up with a better name.
What would you recommend, then?
I don't know. She looks at your party and sees Sigrun and sees Lucius and goes, you look like you like the hairy types. I don't know. How about just the Firecrest? Yeah, if you you imagine putting a bronze cannon on your sigil and walking into battle with it, it becomes its own symbol and builds up with your family name.
Firecrest works.
She nods and goes, good. Easy, simple, and to the point. I hate all these magic items. Fancy things. The Toothless Beholder. Something about a Hammer of Oventium or some pickaxe or axe. I don't know. It's all fucking overly used names. And she goes back. None of you dwarves these days know how to simply name. She looks over at Sigrun and goes, Good. Glad to hear the craft is still going. And she turns back, puts her this metal face cover back on, and starts hammering away as the entire cannon starts to glow. And you watch as she chisels and runes fire crest written into it.
I just want to sit and watch, because this...
Okay.
I feel like I want to be here for the birth of my new weapon.
As Hawken, Lucius, and Sigrun find a table, food is brought out. As this place doubles as a tavern, and drinks are brought to the table. Some little brief history books about the local area and its well-accomplished magic item creation and craftsmanship is set down for your enjoyment. As you all just watch as this apparently master smith begins to work. Lucius and Sigrun, is there anything you'd like to do while you're kind of sitting here?
Just keeping my ears peeled like normal.
Okay. Give me a perception
Yeah,
check with
just-
advantage. Sigrun.
Yes, sir.
It's not very
Yeah, I'll
helpful.
keep my eyes out just for anything interesting. Mostly just kind of keeping guard for anything suspicious, I guess.
Okay. Sigrun, give me a
11.
perception check as well. Lucius
Okay.
with goddamn it, Cheston. With an 11, apparently this smithy woman is unknown. Like no one knows who the fuck she is, but the master smith of this place completely bowed to her immediately and backed down as soon as she showed up in the shop. And then Sigrun, what'd you get for your perception?
I got a 22.
There isn't any enemies, but you can definitely tell this woman knows as you watch. She's a master of her craft and very much knows it, as that cannon seems to be the hammer she's wielding. This woman's either a soldier or she's been beating solid things for a long time.
Sigrun's gonna watch her as she works. Very, very curious of her craft, and maybe a little bit of the woman herself.
Okay.
And she'll just kind of watch her work on the cannon, since there doesn't seem to be any danger around.
Okay. We will come back to you lot momentarily. The Pebble and Temidor. As you lot head out of the city, you finally you pass a few large farms. You get a chance to kind of catch up and get to know each other a little bit.
Yes, I was raised by monks for the first few years.
I was raised by the equivalent of wild boars.
Not too much difference there.
Alright, what up? As you lot continue with your small talk, eventually you come to the end of the road where the shop is set up. And it's a simple rinky-dink, falling apart wood lodge. You see animal skulls on the wall of small animals. The door itself is kind of slightly ajar. The windows seem to all be kind of slightly cracked. One of them seems to have another piece of wood pushed into it. There are also a lot of strange, long wooden objects that look like almost clubs, but with a weird iron stick into them. Kind of just laying about. Yes, what were you gonna say, Pebble?
The door's made of jars?
Shut up. The door is ajar. Fuck off. And that's
Oh, just one jar.
after a few minutes though of you guys walking up, you see as this really fat humanoid comes walking. It's just a massively girthy. You guess probably a good 3 feet wide, maybe 5 feet tall. And out comes this walking, talking hippo with a musket on his hip.
Yes!
And you see his whiskers kind of seem to move about as he notices you a lot, and he goes, "Who goes there?"
A customer looking to commission a airship.
I don't know no customers when they're named Airship.
I'm Temidor. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here to see about getting an airship.
It's a
one that can
pleasure
handle-
to meet me. Are you kidding? I am not a man that you want to meet. Yeah.
Oh, right now you are, because you are a lot better than dealing with other problems. So take the goddamn compliment.
You're
And let's
gone,
move
Cameron.
He kind of looks to you, and kind of gets up, right, waddles up to you, and gets right into your face, and goes,
I look down at him, because I am a foot taller.
"You think you're tall, huh, Sonny?
No.
Name's Carvial, and I'll carve your knees out."
I'll keep that in mind.
The pebble taller than both of them is just watching, looking back and forth.
Although you might want to start with him, because him being taller than me as well is getting on my nerves.
He turns,
What did I do?
looks at you, the pebble, and goes, "You raised by the Scrofe?"
Yes.
Alright, he turns back to Temidar. "You, fuck off!" And turns back and walks back into his house, slamming the door.
I'm walking up and I'm gonna look. I'm gonna walk here. Just keep walking towards it. At this point, I'm not giving a shit.
As you walk towards the door, he goes, "You open that door, I'm shooting at you. My musket's loaded."
Go ahead. Won't be the first thing that's been taken from me today. Certainly won't be the fucking last, because I'm here to pay you money.
Wait, you got money?
Yes.
Now hold up! As he comes waddling back, and he opens the door.
You think I'd call myself a customer if I didn't have money?
I don't know. You're a cat that mostly looks like he's naked, and you're not surrounded by with a half-naked man walking next to him. I figured you were vagabonds.
More mercenary, but whatever. What? Do you have an airship here that could handle, say, war?
What kind of war? We talking dragon war? We talking giant war? We talking Scrofe war? We talking heli war? We talking dwarven wars?
Currently, orc war.
I'd prefer to have some magical resistance, given what we've seen them throw currently.
I got a wooden boat that'd probably make most orcs run. They're not very bright lot, to be honest. Don't take much. It's got an anchor you can throw at them. It only works once.
Let's say I'm going after the heli then.
You going after the heli? You got 20,000 gold pieces? Because that's what's going to start you at. You want to consider taking on their navy.
That's fair. I have 17,000.
Alright, well, the price is 20,000.
What can we get then for 17?
I won't kick you in the teeth.
That's not a ship.
No, actually, that's the name of the ship. It's literally named I Won't Kick You in the Teeth.
I don't like the name of this ship. Let's see it.
Creative name. Let's take a look.
Alright, and he starts walking down. As he kind of starts taking to the wooden docks that he has built, he goes, stand on the blue circle. Give me a minute. And he starts to rub his hands together. The world says me. Magic says me. This customer's an asshole. And he claps his hands, and suddenly you find yourself up in the air on the dock that's been built and is floating. And he goes,
Temidar.
I'll take being called an asshole today. I lost something important.
Alright. He starts waddling his little ass over, and he goes, this, and he shows you, it's a single-decker slope. The main timber in the center where the a sail would be set up is completely broke and busted. The anchor is just a rock on a piece of metal. And you can tell there's very little magic on this ship from just the general look of it. And he goes, this puppy will get you to the other side of the country in about a year.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
As you look about, you see there's one next to it. It's a fully, what looks to be simple, filling metal, nothing but iron, galleon, 3 decks. You see cannons that seem to pop out magically. It has its own little helmsman that seems to be attached to the wheel, and it has on the front of it a simple design of a what looks to be like an aboleth for its mass. It has... and the other 2 ships to be similar in design, one being a galleon that's only 2 decks instead of 3, and the final one just being a single deck galleon, the fourth and final one technically is a full-on warship, war galleon, man o' war. There's the word I'm looking for.
Temidar's gonna take a breath. I'm sorry for my attitude. I was stolen from and I took it out on the wrong person. For one.
I don't care. You remind me of my own family. That's why you're getting the discount.
I think you mean the charge up.
No.
What family could I remind you of? I don't even know of most of my own.
He looks over at the pebble and he goes, is this man always this, just terrible to travel with? I can't imagine how depressing it must be to talk to him on the daily basis.
I met him and this entire party about a week ago.
As it goes, I think if you're looking for employment, I'm hiring.
and that would entail.
You look like a strong lad. You just gotta move ships for me. I used to move them around by hand when I was a younger man, but yeah, these days, not as much.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Looking at all of them with my knowledge as a merchant, I might not have a specialty in this, but I should be able to roughly price them all to be something fair and not get ripped off.
Give
right?
me a D20 plus your proficiency bonus.
That's an 11. God damn, the dice don't like me today.
So the ship, you can see this knock your teeth in ship is actually probably worth around 50,000 gold pieces. It's got its own core, and is magically capable of basically acting on its own. The other 3 ships, you'd guess probably to be north of 200,000 gold pieces, easily.
This ship probably won't hold up against actual warfare then, if it's can only make it to the other side of the continent in a year.
And Alexia goes, listen, alright, it ain't easy fighting these war-torn lands. The Windsors have been blowing all my ships out of the damn skies. Little bastards testing their cannons on my ship.
Oh, trust me, I'm not a big fan of the current head of the Windsors, either.
Yeah, never mind, that Hawking guy's an asshole. Yeah, I met him
know.
once. You know, he was a sweet kid, saved a bunch of guys, and then he had the audacity to tell me to hold up while he went and helped some guy that was missing a leg. Like, I am more important than some Nord, alright?
Oh, I can tell that. You could have definitely got that out of
You know what? You don't gotta kiss my ass. It's too short for you.
No. It's just that I've met him in person, and he's just about as you described, except now he's a little more annoying.
30,000.
Look what you did. Look what you did, Cameron.
I don't care. Temnar finds Hawking annoying, but he's still a good person.
40,000.
Yeah, you're just gonna add more every time I say something,
No. But if y'all can't afford it, why don't you kind of move along? I've got other customers waiting. As you look around, there's no one for miles.
I'm surprised you didn't ask to grab some coin from Sigru before
I was
you
gonna say, I can go
buy an
get it.
airship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of have a lot of money, but you know, it's whatever.
I'm just really surprised. You think you could buy a warship for $17,000? Are you out of your mind?
I said I was going to commission it. I didn't say anything about just getting it.
We need one now.
Shut up and let me do this.
Okay.
Can I ask the man until we're back down? We have a party member with more money. I'll go get them.
Yes, money now and up front.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll leave the
Pebble, I'll
cat
wait
here and I'll go get them.
No, please take him with you. I'll cut the price in half if you just take him with you.
Deal. I pick up Temidar.
I'll walk away. No, the moment he says that, all right,
No,
fine.
too late. Pick up Temidar.
I will acrobatics off of you and just fly the
Adventure.
fuck away. Do not tempt me. Put
As
me the fuck
Temidar
down.
begins getting hugged by the pebble as the two head towards the teleportation circle and
No,
head
I could
back
just-
down.
I swear, I can just imagine him holding him by like the scruff of his neck like a little kitten.
No, Temidar is basically just trying to hold the pebble's face away from him, away from hugging and picking him up.
No, I'm holding-
I want to slip out of this and just fly the fuck away and just go sit and brood for a little bit. God damn. Fuck this. Wings unfurled, step of the wind, I am gone.
Are you just jumping off the docks from the midair?
Flying away, yep.
I'll roll
Fuck
athletics
this.
to hold him.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll athletics. Temidar, roll acrobatics.
Come on.
That's
Oh,
a nat 1. I'm
Hey, I
going
win.
nowhere.
We
Fucking
both got
hell.
that one, but mine's higher.
So as Temidar begins to get ready to jump off, the pebble just grabs hold of him and pulls him back in. And Carviel just kind of looks at you and goes, huh. As he turns and walks back to the ship, starts tinkering with things as you head down back into the city.
Once we get down, I'll put him down.
Okay.
I'm walking away at this point, not even talking to him.
Okay. As the
Right,
pebble
head
starts
over.
running into city, Temidar, as you slowly kind of follow behind, slinking annoyed, A few minutes go by as you watch as the pebble goes charging off, and suddenly a Leonin appears right beside you out of nowhere, wearing full studded leather, carrying 2 daggers, very simple yellow mane, a very unremarkable Leonin. And now you recognize this because Leonins are a Tabaxi tribe in my world.
Yeah, and I look at him and I'm, hail, friend.
He looks at you and goes and starts speaking in common, or starts with Thieves' Cant immediately. I assume you don't speak Thieves' Cant, Timidar?
I'm guessing I'd pick up a few little bits, but I don't speak fluently enough for it to be an actual language of mine.
Okay. He immediately stops, realizing you don't understand, and he begins speaking.
I'll say in Abyssal, since that is a language Tabaxis can pick up pretty easily. You speak this one?
He starts speaking in Abyssal back and nods.
This one
Says
will be
yes.
probably safe enough around here. What you need?
He goes, "You've contacted the circus. We've come to assist."
You're gonna be helping us take out the Orc Queen if that works for you, as well as track something down for me if that helps. If you can.
I'm more than willing to offer any information I can for the right price.
The price will be the bag of drugs that Tara left behind.
We prefer at the circus time of service for our skills. You shall owe the circus a favor, and when the time comes, you will say yes, or your life will be snuffed out, as you would know. Should you agree
Fair
to
enough.
this, then the favor shall equal whatever you request.
One, I had an item stolen from me. A small vial that could replicate potions with ease.
He takes your hand for a second and begins to chant something in the Celestial, and looks at you and says, describe the object, start thinking of it.
I immediately bring Silver's vial to mind.
As you do, your back pocket starts glowing suddenly.
Son of a...
As you reach in, you just find the 2 coins.
Oh my, is
Just
it the
the
2
coins.
coins?
And the man looks at you and goes, that's never happened before. Interesting, I'll look into this.
That, and then we're gonna be... This one's more for Hawk and Firecrest. He has to be the intermediary, so... He wants you guys to work with him in taking down the Orc Queen.
This falls in line with our current quest. This is no proper request of us.
Oh, he wants you to work a little bit closer. He may offer monetary reward for helping him.
What the fuck, Cameron?
The services
Fuck
given
you.
will be granted in your name.
Alright, fair.
So anything he requests, you will pay off.
I'll consider it a deal. If you find the vial, I'll be able to mass produce potions for the circus then.
He nods and says, I will do my best to return once we figured out about your vial. You never saw anything, as he suddenly disappears into a slight glare of smoke and vanishes on the middle of this country road, surrounded by nothing but farm fields where you can see
I'll
miles.
have to see if... Yeah, Temnar thinks for a moment. I'll have to see if... Since Mother never thought it wise to taught me Thieves' Cant, I'll have to see if Sigrun can. To make conversing with them a little easier. And Temnar straightens himself out and walks into the town in his merchant's garb.
Okay. As Temidar and the Pebble return to the tavern, you lot see the woman working away at the Windsor Cannon. And that's where we're going to end today's session. We thank you all for watching, and we hope you enjoyed a little bit of a lighter RP session. We'll see how the party gets on with next session, what their plans to do, and who they plan to destroy first. Enjoy.